Why in hell do you need to be a good storyteller? In life, business, or anywhere else? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Everyday KT number 226. I'm KT. And storytelling. So, why does that even matter? Why does anybody care about your ability to tell a story? Well, let's start with you as a kilt wearer. As we talked about past few shows, talking about when you wear a kilt, you go out into the world, people want to hear your story, or they want to share their story of their ancestry, their experiences with kilts. Something about you showing up in a kilt has evoked the response of a story. Now, if you're being told a story, they probably have this thing in the back of their mind for years and years and years, just waiting for somebody in a kilt to show up so they can tell it. If you're the one that is being asked the story, you, as the storyteller, need to be able to actually tell the story in such a manner that people want to hear it. So you need to be able to not only convey the point of your story. You know, I put on a kilt, I went to the bar, I got free drinks. Very short story, not very fun. So you need to add the humor, the detail, but the sense of awesome that comes with wearing a kilt. So that same story, I went to the bar, I got free drinks, it was awesome. Translates to, well, I was wandering around the fraternity one day, and the guy up the hall, he was playing the bagpipes. So I walked up and I'm like, Jeff, playing the bagpipes, this is pretty cool. And he's like, yeah. So he keeps playing for a little bit. And a couple drinks later, he says, I asked, hey, you got a kilt? You know, the bar's open, you know, sun's gone down, let's go get a drink. Put the pipes down, let's go get a drink. You happen to have a kilt? And he's like, sure, I've got a kilt. I've got two. You want to wear one? Sure. Throw it on. Am I doing it right? No, but who cares? So, strap on the kilts, walk up the street, and lo and behold, there's people all the way. And they're like, hey, nice kilt. Let's hear what's going on there. A couple of girls walking around saying, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, where are you guys going? Get to the bar, get in there. Bartender says, holy crap, you guys got kilts on. First round's on me. Boom, beers. Okay, start of the night. End of the night. Two guys dancing on the bar. Guess what? 0 bar tab. All night. So, huge difference. First story was fact, fact, fact. Second story, while abbreviated significantly, because that kind of actually happened, much more to it. It had more meat, more things that a potential or a listener can relate to. You know, getting into the bar, being curious, free drinks from the bartender. All things that some people, you know, the average person who would be interested in that kind of story would want to know more about. So you want to make sure you put all kinds of details into the story that you're telling. Now, the best thing about telling stories, especially if you have been kilted or have had all kinds of shenanigans throughout your life, is you don't have to make them up. Tell the stories the way they are. Because when you tell a story, a real story, you don't have to worry about remembering what you told the first person. Because you can tell the 12th person and it's the same story. You don't have to embellish it. You don't have to make it more grandiose than it really is. You don't have to turn what I just said to, we wound up getting behind the bartender and pulling a cocktail routine like Tom Cruise. No. Well, we didn't do that. That's not what happened. But it did happen, and it happened very more or less the way I told you. A lot more shenanigans were involved, but I was trying to keep it short for the sake of the video. So try to add emphasis to the important parts, you know, free drinks, kilt, bar. Women were curious. For a guy wearing a kilt to the bar who likes women, that's pretty much that's everything right there in a handbag, especially when you got no bar tab. That's the perfect night. Almost. There's more things that should have happened towards the end of the night afterwards and whatever, but that's not part of this story. So, emotion too. You want to add the emotion of how you felt during the events. See, when you're telling a story and it's your own story, add the emotion of what happened. You're free. That first time I walked in the bar and the bartender had, first rounds on me, I was elated. I was like, holy crap. All because I showed up wearing this? I got to do that again. So I did. Granted, it took 10 years, but I did, and same result. It was awesome. So the emotion and the connection to your audience. Right now, I know I'm talking to people who more or less like kilts in some fashion. Wear them, want to wear them, like people who wear them, something. Something about them, about the kilt, entices people who are watching this live right now. So that's my audience. So I tailor the story to them. I don't change the story. I just emphasize some details versus the other details. So when you're telling the story, make sure you're cognizant of who your audience is so that you don't lose them. So that's basic storytelling. Engage your audience, tell them a story that they want to hear, give them the details, give them the emotion, show them your emotion and your connection with that story, and show them the fun and the awesomeness that goes with that story. So how does that have anything to do with business? Or better yet, wearing a kilt? So when you wear a kilt, we've talked about this before, people want to hear your story. So get good at telling your own story. You can give them I was at a thing and I found a tartan, I bought it, I put it on, and boom, done. That's a crap story. Very short, not much to it, and there's very little to entice the listener to ask you a question, to engage with you, to want to know more about you. So you could, what I did, my story. So I was at a festival in Tulsa and walking around, just gotten paid the day before, so I'm like, I'm gonna go buy something cool. Walking around, of course, first thing on my mind, hey look, 4-foot swords, big ass battle axes. I like that kind of stuff. Let me go check it out. So I'm wandering around and I'm flipping through a book of tartan because it said THOM to whatever, maybe the end of the alphabet as the tartans that were in that book. So I'm flipping through, I'm like, Tom, my last name starts like that. Maybe there's something in there. Maybe it's my tartans in the book. That'd be really cool. I had not seen that before. So I'm flipping through, I'm like, holy crap, Thompson. And I'm like, whoa, there's many of them. Wow. So I'm like, how much is, I want this. And he's like, oh yeah, he points to the wall. Package, $290. Kilt, belt, sporran, chain, shirt. I'm like, what? Cannot pass this up. Awesome. Boom, here's my money. Take my money. Of course, I got screwed. 11 months later, wrong size kilt, incorrect plaid, incorrect thread count on the set. But, boom, kilt. So, next day, what I do? Got online. Fledgling internet, pre-Facebook. Websites, online forums. I need to know more. I need to know more. I need to know more. So I hammered at it for 11 months while I was waiting for this new kilt. A whole lot more interesting than saw a kilt, liked it, boom, bought it. So, gotta catch the interest of the people. Now, to apply this to business, it's very simple. You take all of that stuff I just said, and instead of telling a story of your personal experience with your kilt, your family, friends, whatever, all you do is you transpose that and you talk about your products. So for me, it'd be simple. If I wanted to tell a simple story, it's like, KT, I do marketing, social media, boom, I can get people talking about you. Not much of a story. But with a little forethought, a little bit of research, say, for instance, we're talking about my friend Corey down in Texas, Kilted Realtor. Like, well, listen, Corey, I know that you are a real estate agent, and I know because I've done some research on what real estate agents do, they're basically, in the most basic sense, sales. They want to get out there and get their names in front of more people who may be buying or selling a property in their geographical area where they are licensed to transact that purchase or sale. So, how are you doing that? How are you getting in front of people? Not quite sure. You're doing the old door-to-door cold calling? Well, let me tell you something. So, you've talked to me online for, a long time now. This is what I do professionally. I get people to talk about you. And I give you the freedom to do what you do best. You're a real estate agent. You are really good at selling houses and helping people buy houses. You are good at helping them fulfill that dream of either moving up the ladder, as it were, for home ownership, getting that first property maybe, or getting that dream home right there on the lawn, which happens to overlook the beach or the ocean with their boat at the end of the dock. That's what you're good at. Me, I'm good at getting your name out. I can help you through social media, as it were, maybe websites. Maybe that's a thing that you need a hand with. Or maybe you're trying to figure out how this whole video marketing Facebook Live thing works. And you're at odds because you're like, you know what? I need to do those things, but I really want to go sell houses. So you listen, I'm going to send you some stuff. You let me know what you think. And meanwhile, I want you to check out this video I just did. And it was all about how to tell stories. And Corey would naturally say, yeah, that's kind of exactly what I need. What do you do again? Exactly opens up the door to conversation. Instead of, I'm in marketing, I can help you get seen. Doesn't work that way. You want to build interest. You want to build curiosity. You want to build up to that crescendo where the client says, I want you to do the work for me. I mean, think of every really good blockbuster they spend the whole first hour and a half, 2 hours building to this massive climactic battle between good and evil, where the good guys got to do something impossible to beat the bad guys, and they're horribly outnumbered, and there's not a snowball's chance in hell they succeed, but the bad guys screw up. They forget a thing, or they don't do something, or some guy bangs his head on the door leaving a room, or they forget to cover an exhaust port. And the good guys know it, but they've only got 2 missiles. And they do it. Huge story. They keep you in suspense that whole time. That's what you need to do. You need to get the interest, build the interest through storytelling in your business, personal, whatever it is that you're trying to promote. You want to promote yourself as a kilt wearer. Say, hey, I wear a kilt. This is how to do it. And tell the story. You know, Chris from Washington tells his story every single day about his journey through kilt wearing. He's up well over 200 by now. Every day, a little bit of a snippet about what he does and how he does it. Wearing a kilt every day. And that's what we do here, talking about wearing a kilt. But not just the kilt. It's not just about the clothes. It's about the person. So we're telling the story of the people, what they do, how they do it, how they're succeeding, where they're failing, and how to work on those things. And making sure that we're supporting one another. But it's the story that gets people involved because they're curious. They want to hear more. You tell a good story, people want to hear another one. You know, the lady who did those Wizard Guy books, how many did she write? A whole ton of them. Write one crappy book, nobody cares. So, if you want people to be interested in what you're doing, professionally, personally, whatever it is, get to learning how to tell the story. Because if you can tell the story, what you're doing is easy. You know, you want to tell the story, say you do plumbing. Yeah, you're going to get the plumbing things, but if, the emergency stuff, but if you're going after that big apartment, tell them the story of what you do, how you do it, and how you're going to save them money by doing what you do. Simple. You want to be a professional storyteller? You need to go practice a crap load. End of discussion right there. Whole tons and tons and tons of crap load. Practice, practice, practice. So, storytelling. Because if you can tell your story effectively convey the point of your story, engage your audience, keep them engaged, and get them to want more, and get them to ask questions, you win. Hands down. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're selling, you're telling stories, you're getting people to laugh. Doesn't matter. You can do those things, you're golden. Life will be wonderful. So that's storytelling, and that's why you need to do it. And if you're wearing a kilt, expect people to ask for this story. So somebody threw up a kiltology. That's tonight's show, talking about storytelling and how to do it and why you need it. So, and there's a big discussion going on. Let's see, and for those, yeah, exactly, Josh just threw it up there. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, this originally was a Facebook Live video. Josh said that most clan booths have storytellers. Why? To tell the story of the clan. Not because they're trying to tell you a story, because a storyteller is a far more efficient salesman when it comes to getting you to buy things about the clan, or maybe even join that particular clan. Because those of you who don't know, you don't need to be a blood member of a clan to join the clan. I know some people try to make it that forced, but it's no. You want to be a part of one particular Scottish clan, go ahead and join it. Most of them are associations or societies anyway these days, because it's really hard to prove direct lineage for a vast majority of people who are interested in the clan system. And Angela comes up with volume 2, one of the new ones. Oh, and by the way, if anybody has questions, or not questions, they want to hear some particular story, like the full story of something I've done or I've mentioned, just kind of in passing, please let me know. I'd be more than happy. So, today, storytelling. Kiltology number 379. It's on Amazon. Wits. Entering a battle of wits with a kiltie is like trying to push a rope uphill. It is an unwritten classic blunder. Third, under never get involved in a land war in Asia and never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line. Unless you're immune to vicious tongue lashings and brutal assaults on your mental facilities or faculties, I suggest avoiding such battles altogether. If you don't already know, those are quotes from The Princess Bride. At least the first two. So what does that mean? That means going into a battle of wits with a man in a kilt, especially one who's been wearing one for a significant number of years, is like going to a gunfight with a broken piece of wet spaghetti and a blindfold. It's not going to end well for you. Just saying. It's been my experience over the past 11 years. That's generally what happens. Throw in a couple of glasses of scotch and it gets worse because the filter shuts off, what little filter there might be. So with that, I'll let you go. You guys have an awesome night. Go do something awesome. Figure out what story you really like telling and practice it a little bit. Let people know. You know, people want to ask, talk to them, practice your story. Because as you practice it, you'll get better. And the better you get, the more people want to hear what you have to say. And if you're a professional salesman, could lead to more leads, more business, more closes, more profit, more money in your pocket. More money in your pocket means more kills, which is awesome. So, I will see you tomorrow. As always, be strong. Put a kilt on.